Five, four, three, two, one. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Miles Culture Plate. I am your host, Kevin Miles. It is Wednesday, October 19th, 2022, and we are live. So, I didn't stream last night, and I think, just as a note to the program here, I think I'm going to wind up moving this Tuesday show to Wednesday. Again, this isn't a confirmation. This is just a something I'm tossing around in my head because as I've previously stated, I sometimes will have a business meeting on Tuesday that will cause me to have to stream later in the week. And I think Wednesday just might be a better overall day for the way my lifestyle is. Having said that, things went crazy yesterday. I had to work late. I got home, had to make dinner. By the time dinner was done, I was absorbed into Nick Ricada's Locals Chat. So, shout out to anyone who has found this channel from Nick Ricada's Locals Chat. I'm trying to promote this any way I can. Big shout out to anyone who's come here from there. So, having said that, it's become an addiction. Nick Ricada's Locals Chat is so degenerate in all the funny ways, and there's some offensive locker room stuff in there. So if that kind of stuff's not for you, avoid it like the plague. But I will say it might be the best $5 I've spent in quite a while on an online subscription, and that includes Disney Plus and all those. So yeah, fuck Disney Plus. While I'm at it, let me go ahead and just say, I have not watched a single minute of She-Hulk unless it's been on YouTube commentary videos. I'm done. I'm done with Disney Plus. I never actually had my own subscription. I was sharing a subscription with another person. But yeah, fuck Disney Plus. There's nothing there for me. I tried to watch Andor and I could not stay awake. And then the Marvel stuff just is not worth the money. It's not worth $1. In fact, they couldn't pay me money to watch the Marvel and Star Wars stuff that's coming out on Disney Plus. It's ridiculous. I have a feeling season 3 of The Mandalorian might be decent, but overall, I mean, if that's all you have to deliver, and even that was like, okay, well, this wasn't the plan, so be it. So yeah, this is just a chill stream. I had some topics queued up last night, and upon thinking about it, I really didn't have a whole lot to say on those topics. And to be frank, I'm just not feeling it. I kind of thought that this stream I might get into some of the Amaranth drama, but quite frankly, I don't even think that's worth my time or effort either. I have been following the Darrell Brooks trial, and I meant to give some thoughts on my last stream about that, but my last stream actually ran a bit long, and I had to wrap up quickly. So let me just lay it out for you here. My opinion on the Darrell Brooks trial. Here you have an individual who got behind the wheel of his mom's Ford SUV drove it to meet his ex-girlfriend, had an argument with her, decided to get physical, and when the police were called, he jumped in this car, drove it down a street, ignored barricades, ignored a police officer trying to wave him away, and proceeded to drive through the path of a parade, injuring several people and killing 6. And so it's been almost a year since this tragedy has occurred. And now this trial has started. And the trial started by him making a motion to represent himself. And the judge found him sane, competent enough to stand trial and competent enough to represent himself. But fuck. You got this person who is definitely going to sit in prison for the rest of his life with no possibility of parole. There's no death penalty in Wisconsin. So no matter what he does, he's going to wind up with life with no parole, with no early release. So why not draw it out, drag it out, make a mockery of the whole procedure? Why not play games? And that's what he's done for the last 2 weeks. He refuses to learn anything about civil procedure other than things that he thinks might be disruptive. He has mocked witnesses, mocked the state of Wisconsin. And he's using what's known as sovereign citizen movement theory. Now, you know, y'all, if you've been watching my channel, you know me. I'm a libertarian. I believe strongly in, small government or reducing government power and making enforcement of government a harder job. And I myself can buy into a leetsy beatsy of the sovereign citizen stuff. But the gold fringe flag, the I do not consent to using my names in all caps. At some point, whether or not you believe government is legitimate, or whether or not you believe a court is legitimate, they're the people with the guns. I may not like armed thugs in my neighborhood, but if I'm going to live in that neighborhood, they're the ones with the guns. What are you going to do about it? This is why ultimately some of the anarchist libertarian theory falls apart, and I might go deeper into that. But as of right now, this government at least has the cover of some sort of representation of the people. Of a majority of the people. Of a plurality of the people. So to act like the people's court, the people you murdered, the people who are grieving, the people who miss their loved ones, or the people whose loved ones now face life debilitating injuries because of your actions. To act like because they're not suing you civilly that there's not a case, that this idea of a criminal court doesn't exist and therefore cannot have any kind of authority over you. He's learning quickly that that's just not the case. I mean, he knows. He knew before he walked into that courtroom the first time. But now he's been given books on civil procedure. He's been given books on the rules of a court of law. And he just refuses to participate in a meaningful way. You know, on some level, it seems like he's like, nah, we're going to do court the hood way. That's not how this goes. So he's been disruptive. He's been threatened with removal. Oh, excuse me. So he's been threatened with removal. He's been warned, and yet he still continues his insanity. He still asks every single witness if they know the plaintiff, if they've seen a plaintiff. It's a criminal case. He's just a thug, and he's going to probably wind up going to prison for the rest of his life, which will probably be short because he feels the need to inject himself into the conversation that's happening around him. He has to be the center of attention. When other people are testifying, he'll just mumble into the microphone or object for no reason at all because he wants to be the center of attention. Well, that's not the way things work in prison. And I have a sneaking suspicion that if he goes to prison with that kind of an attitude, being 5'8", he's not going to last long. I mean, I think he's been before, but we'll see. So that's what I've been doing the last couple weeks. I've been in Nick Rekieta's Locals chat and watching the Waukesha trial of Darrell Brooks. So, big shout out to everyone else who's been doing the same thing. There's been, I had a LawTube drama stream a couple weeks ago, or last week. And then before that, I did a stream where I was wearing the big prosthetic breasts. And, I try to cover what's relevant in the news, but it has been a slow couple of weeks in the news since those couple of streams. So, the only thing I could really cover is I could expand upon my thoughts on libertarian versus anarchy versus minarchy versus constitutionalism, or I could dip my toes into whatever the hell this drama has been going on with the Twitch Thot Amaranth. I'm willing to talk political theory all day, but that can get kind of boring. And I'm willing to talk about Amaranth, but to be frank, I'm no expert. I have not followed her at all. I just saw a couple of clips, and then I saw someone's essentially breakdown of what happened. But I could give my thoughts on it and say where I think other people are kind of getting the story twisted, so to speak. Anyway, I mean, let me know in the chat if you would like me to cover either of those topics. Until then, I am going to chill a little bit. I do have a Rumble channel. I tried to put the link down in the description. I'm not sure if it took. Let me Let me see if it took. I believe it took. So yes, there is a link down in the description for my Rumble channel. I could always use Rumble subscriptions too. And yeah. Oh, and I'm clicking the wrong thing here. Okay. Yeah, I'm even a bigger boomer than Nick Rekieta when it comes to some of this. I'm relatively new at streaming, but in fact, I forgot my whiskey tonight. I've got plenty of bottles of whiskey in the other room. Usually I'm a shot in by now, but I think I'm gonna have to just hold off. So there's LawTube drama this week. If you're not familiar, Andrew Branca, who goes by Law of Self Defense on Twitter, or maybe it's just Law Self Defense. Anyway, he runs the Law of Self Defense YouTube channel. Anyway, he had a spicy take on the Derek Chauvin. He basically had a disagreement with some other YouTube law folks about the cause of death of George Floyd. And that has now spread. He is now arguing with 2 or 3 lawyers about these things, and apparently he's going to go on Nick Rekieta's Rumble channel, I believe, on Saturday to hash this all out once and for all. But also involved is Nate the lawyer, who was involved in that last little bit of LawTube spat, and then Natalie Lawyer Chick on Twitter, who, hasn't really been seen in Nick Rekieta's circle much since some of the big previous trials. So it's kind of interesting to see some of these things play out. But again, I try not to really hash and rehash LawTube stuff because I'm hoping that most of my audience will be some of their audience and therefore have already seen some of this stuff. So if you're not following LawTube, let me know down in the comments or in the chat, or let me know on Twitter. My Twitter handle is down in the description as well. So we're only 18 minutes into the stream here. I'm going to go ahead and I guess cover the Amaranth stuff. Let me see if I can get something that isn't too... Yeah, this is other people. Okay, so instead of playing her videos, let's see if I can... Let's see if I can find shorter clips on Twitter. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I can't hear what is going on. Bear with me for just a moment. I'm trying to... pardon me.
Leave the house.
Okay, here we go. So this is Amaranth talking to her husband. Yes, you heard that right, husband. This was an interesting reveal. So, if you're not familiar with Amaranth, she is a streamer on Twitch, the Just Chatting section. She has been known for doing microphone licking streams, ASMR streams, hot tub streams, and just general thoughtery of wearing skimpy clothing while talking to thirsty teenagers on the internet. I could get a little deeper than that, but I don't think it's necessary. So this was the way in which she revealed to her audience that she was married. Okay, there we go.
Okay, I can leave the. You know what? Actually, I shouldn't leave the house because my dogs are here.
We'll take the dogs and leave. You're asking the question, I'm telling you, and you're interrupting my fucking, telling you. Literally.
What are you saying? You just told me you were gonna kill dogs if I didn't do a 24-hour stream.
Nope, did not say that. Now you're just fucking being a liar.
I'm not
I said I'm going to tell you what I said.
Okay, so let's hold up here. Hold up, wait. All right, so, So she's streaming an argument. Ladies and gentlemen, how do I even begin? If you're going to be on the internet, there's a certain level of personal exposure that you're going to have. And this is why it's so confusing to me. This whole situation is just very confusing to me. And I have seen no less than 3 online videos where a male commentator is commenting on how this was the right move for Amaranth to do, and this was her cry for help, for someone to help her get out of an abusive relationship. And I must say, the simpery, I don't abide the simpery. I don't abide it at all. So let's go back. Watch a little bit more. So, by the way, real quick, he just essentially threatened to kill her dog. So that's where we're at. There eventually will be 2 threats to kill her dog, along with her showing her phone screen that has threats to drain all of her finances and invest in risky options trading and leave her broke, essentially.
In terms of the earlier, are you saying you did not say that?
I tried to tell you what I heard from you. And then you called me a liar.
Then you tell me what?
Okay, so I'm not buying the tears here. Now later, I've seen some other clips where it really looks like she has been crying, her makeup is running, but I'm not buying these particular tears right here. For 2 reasons. One, she's live streaming it. You don't live stream these kind of moments unless, like was mentioned earlier, unless you're really crying out for help. And even then, you're kind of crazy. It is what it is. Anyway, here we go.
Did you say?
What are you even talking about? You brought up the dogs out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Okay, one other thing I want to mention. So far, every clip I've heard of him being on the phone with her, they're arguing semantics about who heard who say what. I mean, there's no meat to any of these conversations. It's just, I didn't say what you said I said, and you didn't hear me say this, which is, oh my God. I mean, if you've ever been in a relationship like this, you're both toxic because, I'm just going to say that, you're both toxic. Because if you're going to participate in conversations where people are gaslighting you, and yes, that's the accusation here, is that he's been gaslighting her and controlling her finances. I don't see behind the scenes. I don't know what kind of a financial agreement they had. I don't know how much he is involved in her career. So I can't speak to any of that. But here's what I will say. It takes two people to have a crazy argument. Now, there are people who didn't do nothing and just get abused out of nowhere. It happens. But in my experience, 85% of the time, two people are participating in the crazy, and the loyal, responsible person in the relationship should have left a long time ago, but they had a love addiction or some other kind of addiction or some other kind of emotional dependency fucked uppery, their own brand of crazy that made them stay and argue back and invite more abuse. And again, before anyone goes saying, oh, now you're a victim blamer. No, I'm not saying inviting the abuse as in, please come hit me. No, it's like trying to wrestle with an aggressive dog or a lion. You know, you get them amped up, and then you can't act surprised when things go crazy because you started from a crazy position. Anyway.
What point is there improving?
See?
There is no point.
What? I'm asking you again. I don't even understand what you're saying to me.
I don't understand what you're saying to me, but I'm going to stay on the phone with you and continue this bullshit.
Are you listening or not? If you're not, then get the fuck out.
I'm literally listening, but you're not making any sense.
Well, no, you're not listening because it makes perfect sense. I'm going to say it one more time. If you don't get it, I need you to get the fuck out.
Okay, as soon as someone says get the fuck out, it's time to go get a restraining order and a lawyer.
Psychological abuse, and that I'm basically living in a fancy prison, and then he was changed for a bit, and then the hot tub meta arose, and he was like, oh, this is an opportunity, and then he turned into an asshole again when I agreed to commit to the grind because it was a good financial opportunity for us. I've been wanting to tell people that, like, let's just stream together. Just tell them that we're fucking married, because it's like, our relationship would be better if we just stream them, and it's fighting all the time. But no, mister, don't say that, because it's going to ruin the business model. It's not time yet. Fuck yourself. I'm done with it. I'm not going to fuck.
Gonna ruin the business model. It did ruin the business model. I guarantee there's going to be a certain number of her young male followers who will continue to follow her, especially now that she's claiming... Anyway, so there's been room. I don't know which video is which, but there have been two updates. One where she's safe and has taken some steps to be more financially secured and is pursuing legal action. And then there was another where she kind of down-talked some things and was like, well, you know, he has never heard himself in a recording like that before, and now he's getting help. So I don't know which order those two are in. I think it's in the order in which I just said them, which would lead me to believe that she's going to stay with this guy. But again, I know nothing about these people. I know nothing about this woman other than the memes. So if you have something to say about this situation, feel free to say it in the chat. Feel free to say it in the comments section. But quite frankly, yeah, I'm not buying it. This to me, this whole situation feels like a grift. It feels like they had an argument on how to tell her audience she's married. And they was like, well, how do we do it without losing a shit ton of horny men? Oh, we could damsel it. I'm just saying that's what it feels like. I'm not accusing her of it. I'm not accusing... Yeah, this could be very valid. But it feels like an act to me. Anyway, so back to the grind, so to speak.
Leave you with 1 million, and I'm gonna take the rest because I worked harder than you. It's like, and if you don't agree, then I'm gonna burn it all in court. I'm gonna put it all in fucking crypto. Just always threats, always threats. All the fucking accounts are like two-factor under his number, and he has all like the login information of things. It's like the keeps.
Who does that? Who does that? I don't care if you're in love. Nobody does that. This is 2022. Nobody lets their partner, their romantic partner, control all of their social media. It just doesn't happen. If she's got a phone, she could have taken this back at any time. She has the passwords, assumingly.
Keeps you there with the fear and the threats. You fear that he's gonna do something to your animals, and then he's nice again and says everything's gonna be okay. I'm gonna leave you with one.
Okay, so let's unpack that for a minute. Again, we live in a time where all you have to do is go to the courthouse. You have these recordings, you have these text messages that say he's going to kill your animals. That's enough to get a TRO. You could even, most states, I don't even know where the hell Amaranth is from, but most states you could probably even get a TRO applied to your social media accounts. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, you will definitely have to get a lawyer to enact some of these things. But, okay, and then the other... Okay, so here we go.
Hello?
This was the follow-up.
I haven't gotten any calls. What are you talking about?
I have no
Why
idea.
would you ask if I'm taking...
Okay, so that's someone talking to her, and then the door opens behind her. I don't know what the hell all that's about. Anyway, so yeah, they didn't show the 45 seconds previous to that, where she says she's talking to a lawyer and she's got her social media accounts back. Anyway, the whole thing is just a bunch of mess. And again, I don't buy it. To me, this feels like a gimmick. This feels like WWE. This feels like she got bored with the same old titty, 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 titty. This feels like she got bored with that and needed to create a soap opera. Because again, if you listen to that first clip, and don't get me wrong, I've definitely had arguments with an ex that sounded kind of like that. Like, you're not listening to what I'm saying, and then you're arguing about listening and saying and what I've said, what you think I said. And I've had arguments that have sounded like that, but they are very short. That part was very short. It eventually you weave through that and get back to the meat of the argument. And this is the one thing that I think is missing from all the clips that I've seen of Amaranth's abuse stream, is any meat to any argument. Now, after she gets off the phone with him, then she mentions that, well, he forced me to XYZ. But she doesn't say that to his face. She doesn't say that to him on the phone. And they don't really argue about anything worth arguing about while they're on the phone. They're arguing about misrepresenting each other's argument and whether or not they hurt each other. Nothing of value gets mentioned. No meaty argument actually gets mentioned. Which one would say that's just another symptom of how deep this abuse goes, that he will argue with her about literally anything and make her a guilty party for doing nothing. And that may be the case. That may be the case. And I'm willing to admit that I don't know. I'm not in their life. But for me, this feels like a setup. I don't know. I can't find that other clip. I was going to show that other clip that where she makes it sound like, well, he's going to get help and, thank you for your support. And, then she doesn't really give any update on herself. She gives an update on him, like the two of them have worked things out or something. She doesn't say that, but she says, well, he's finally listened to a recording of himself and he understands how serious the issue is and he's getting help. Well, whatever, ho. Quite frankly, I'm glad that this is the first time I've noticed Amaranth in any way, shape, or form. I mean, is this the way Twitch Thot drama goes? I mean, do other Twitch Thots have these weird personal life things that nothing actually fucking happens? If you have a clue, let me know down in the chat or down in the comment section. Because, quite frankly, it's very confusing to me. But, as someone who has been in an abusive relationship and been in a verbally abusive relationship and was gaslit for 3 years, I understand what that kind of abuse looks like. As someone who has seen one of my parents go through these kind of relationships time after time after time, and being yelled at, screamed at, and having their financial life controlled. Let me be clear when I say this, okay? My parent, and I'm not going to give any identifying information here, but my parent working a sub-minimum wage job, not making enough tips to cover actual minimum wage, to then come home every day and immediately have their wallet confiscated and not have anywhere to go, anyone to tell about it, and nothing to do about it, versus someone who has created a name, a face, a brand, recognizable by people who, including myself, have never seen their product, trying to escape the same situation. All you need is a phone, girl, and you still have an income stream. Let the millions go. If that's what it takes to save your life, if this is truly an abusive scenario, if you're truly being abused, get the fuck out, take your dogs, go get a TRO, take a phone with you, and create a new account on the OnlyFans, on Twitch, on whatever you need. And now you've restarted your brand from square one, and people will follow you because they know your brand. It sucks. It's not fair. I'm not saying it's fair, but I'm saying if you're truly abused, if you're being financially dominated, there's a way out. But for millions of serious abuse victims around this world, they don't have a way out. They don't have a recognizable brand. They can't run to the internet. They can't just run into a police station and say, hey, he might hit me or she might hit me. Someone might kill my dogs. Because police aren't tend to react to maybes unless you already have the temporary restraining order and the contact still continues. So that's my 2 cents. It feels fake because there's no meat. And to me, the first I saw of any of this drama, I wasn't aware of any kind of abuse narrative. I just saw the little portion of the clip where she mentions how he didn't want her to tell the internet she was married. And to be honest, I don't blame him. Her entire business model is dependent on horny young men. So if this was real, which I still don't think it is, that one little piece of meat that she gave us, that they were arguing over, I would side with him on. Or, like I said, that one little disagreement they had, they found their solution, and this is it. You make her the damsel, right? And now the simps are even more sympathetic. And you also got them on this baited hook because now, oh, well, I just found out she's married, but she might be becoming single again. She might be becoming single again. I mean, I thought she was single 5 minutes ago, but I think she might be single 5 minutes from now. So now you're on the hook. And you're damseling. Oh, and so, you keep these vague updates. You spread them out over a couple of weeks. And then you just stop mentioning it. That's all you have to do. Just stop mentioning it one day. He's getting help. Oh, his help's going okay, but I still don't agree with what he did to me, and I'm still pursuing action, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it all just goes away. People stop talking about it. And you just keep showing your titties to young men on the internet, cashing them checks. That's all you got to do. And that's what I think she's doing. So yeah, I mean, frankly, I give no shits about Amaranth. I heard people talking about this abuse angle. And then the more I would watch these clips trying to get wrap my mind around whatever drama was happening, the more I was convinced there was no drama happening. And I kept clicking on these videos where these simps are breaking this down and all the gaslighting and, oh, this is what he's trying to say to her. And like, be offended, bro. Why? Why are you... Oh my God, he threatened to poison her dogs. You know what I threatened to do to my ex once? Some pretty horrific shit. But it's an argument. You get bolsterous. You exaggerate. You say you're going to do crazy shit. Once I said I was going to, anyway. I won't get into that. That's a little personal. But my ex knew I wasn't going to do any of those things. They knew that, or she knew that there was a situation that was crazy, and the only way you can even respond to a crazy situation is to turn around and leave or become crazy yourself. And so that's the advice I'm giving here tonight, is that if you feel like your partner is going crazy, I mean legitimately crazy on you. Now, I don't mean they legitimately need mental health help. Like, if you think they legitimately need mental health help, that's one thing. But if you feel like they're gaslighting you, they're abusing you, they're verbally abusing you, emotionally abusing you, financially abusing you, and they're playing these games with your mind, making you jump through hoops to prove your love, you can't play that game. It'll only make you the crazy one. It'll make you the abusive one. Eventually, you play by their game, then you play by their rules, and then the only way you can win is by being crazier than they are. And trust me, especially if you're a young man, that does not end well. That does not end well for anybody, but especially for young men. You can't out crazy a crazy partner, and especially when they can make you become the crazy one. Being a crazy young man in our society nowadays, being a crazy, violent young man, that does not end well for you. So luckily, I grew out of that. I moved away from that. And I began to build myself a more sane life. And that's what you have to do. And if Amaranth is legitimately in this situation, if Amaranth is legitimately in this situation, go get a TRO now. Get a lawyer. Try to put another restraining order on the finances and on the social media accounts and start over. Start over. You've got followers that will follow you to the ends of the earth, married or not. Horny young men that will do anything to watch your titties and watch you step on other young men. But yeah, if anyone out there in my audience is going through similar crazy shit, get the fuck out. No amount of love is worth becoming what you hate. And that's really the tragedy of the craziness, is in the end, I didn't hate her for abusing me. I hated myself for what I became out of her love. Anyway, so, wow. We're coming down to the last 10 minutes of the show. Let's see here. Well, I was going to maybe show some memes, but I'm not going to go there now. You know, I've been sharing a lot of Nick Rekieta and Drexel Baldo memes in Nick Rekieta's Locals chat. I also have a Locals. I don't think I can get my own URL. I don't know. I don't know how any of this shit works. I'll figure it out. Maybe I have to have a paid subscription to Locals or a paid structure. I'm not sure. But I'll figure it out. I do have a Locals channel. I think if you just search the word mild, you might be able to find me. Let's see. Nope. Nope. You search the word mild, you're going to get a bunch of news stories with the word mild in it. Oh, hang on. What happens if you... I don't know. Maybe it won't show me because it's my channel. I don't know. But if you try searching for the word mild, you'll see it's got this logo on it up here. And yeah, you could follow me on Locals. You can follow me on Twitter. Down in the descriptions, my Twitter username and my Rumble channel. You could subscribe to me there. I think my next stream might... Well, I'm going to hold off on promising anything for the next stream just yet because I've been really enjoying the content that Megan Fox investigates, the journalist Megan Fox. I've been really enjoying her content as of late. She's been doing a lot of groomers, school board versus parents stuff. And watch my last stream. I covered the whole Dearborn, Michigan craziness with the Muslims versus groomers. You know, I tried to find the juiciest parts of it and cover it, and I gave a good little rant in the middle of it. So yeah, I've been really enjoying her stuff, and she has a new feed up from today. Let's see here. What is it? Where did it go? Anyway, she did a new stream today about Florida. Apparently, Florida's legislature, I believe it was, had a discussion on how to handle the people who are breaking the Florida groomer law. The don't say groomer law. So she had a stream up on that. It looked like. I think that may be this. I think she retitled it. It just now just says Get Wrecked Groomers. Megan Fox Live, Get Wrecked Groomers. I think that's it. It's a 6-hour live stream. So I'm going to try to watch it, find the juiciest parts, and share some of that with y'all. Break it down. Big shout out to Megan Fox Investigates on Rumble. So, you know, that's something we could look forward to. So either my show will be about that and some random other stuff. I might do another comic review. I might try to watch, what's the movie everybody's watching right now? All of a sudden I'm having the biggest of brain farts. Oh, the Black Adam. No. I might try to review Black Adam. No, there's the other movie, Halloween Kills. I might try to watch one or two of those movies. But that may not be till next Wednesday's show or Tuesday's show. Still tentative on moving it to Wednesday. So those are going to be the upcoming stuff. Is Halloween Kills, Black Adam. Wait, when does Black Adam come out? October 21st. Okay, so yeah, it is this weekend. So maybe I will catch Black Adam, I'm not sure. And maybe I'll catch the Halloween Kills. Not quite sure. But if I don't have those, I'll have either Megan Fox and the Florida Groomer Bill, or I will go ahead and get drunk and rant about the difference between anarchy, minarchy, libertarianism, and constitutionalism. So, I mean, if you have a preference between those 4 topics, leave it down in the comments or in the chat, or let me know on Twitter. I will, I try to be a man who pleases his audience, and so I'll cover whatever the hell y'all want me to cover. So feel free to let me know. Even if you don't like any of those topics, let me know. If you want me to cover something, I'll cover it. I think that's about all I've got for this evening. I'm probably going to be hanging out a lot of the time in Nick Ricada's locals chat, so trying to share memes and make memes and find memes and recycle other people's memes. So you could probably find me there. Keep an eye out for me. Tell me hi. Please put a big thumbs up on this video down there. Share it with your friends. Subscribe, bookmark, hit the bell for notifications. And like I said, come on back next time and keep chatting with me. Let me know what I could be doing better. Let me know how my audio quality is. Oh my God, my last stream, it was an amazing video, but I had the wrong microphone set. And I had the microphone built into my stupid webcam somehow became the default. And so it sounded like I was in a tin can and I couldn't figure it out. Well, I figured it out after the stream was over, and hopefully this stream sounds better. So let me know how my audio quality is. Say hi to me. Take care, everybody. And yeah, do those 5 things for me. Love y'all. Peace.